Hi guys, it's Kat, the Northwoods Fairy, and I am a Master Reiki practitioner, and today I'm going to be talking about what is Reiki, okay? So we're going to go over a couple of things here, and I do have some notes, and I'm going to be using my phone to Google some things so that you yourself can Google the same exact thing if you need to. I'm not going to be doing this per se in a relaxing voice like I typically do on my channel. If you're new, this is an ASMR / Reiki channel, and ASMR is something that helps you go to sleep, and Reiki is a Japanese alternative healing therapy. Okay, so we're going to be going over what Reiki is, other cultures that have similar things as Reiki, a scientist named Deepak Chopra, and how he is proving certain things about Reiki, the system of how it works, how we, our traditions, Japanese versus Americanized, and there is much more than that, so we'll go over that. Ways that we can help you and the process of how it works, okay? So let's start off with what is Reiki. In Japan, the word Reiki comes from Rei, meaning universal, and Ki, which means vital life force. Energy that flows through all living things. And this is funny because I've said this without even reading this before. It is basically, some practitioners describe Reiki as acupuncture without the needles, which leads me to another thing about, when we look at what Reiki is. So acupuncture there's meridians, I believe it is. They call it meridians. That is like energetic, or even it's energetic and matter, so it's your body and your energy, and they can become blocked, which can cause mental ailments and physical symptoms such as headaches and migraines, and a lot of people report that it doesn't last, but acupuncture helps them, because it unblocks the needles, actually unblock, they make the pathway for the meridians, these little circles, to flow correctly. And basically what we call it is what yoga calls it, and Hindu. We don't have to use this system, but a lot of us Reiki practitioners prefer to. It's called Chakras, and if you've ever heard of your aura, that is the colors that illuminate from your chakras, okay? So basically what we do is there's about 7 major chakras that we work with in your body. And they are basically energy. So it is said that some people can see them, but not everyone, obviously. So we work with them intuitively. And they each have their own color. And we work with them to make sure that they're not blocked, because the energy, if there's too much coming from one chakra, an overactive chakra, then you have to balance it out. And if there's not enough coming from one, you have to balance that out too. So I'm trying to make this simplistic, so I'm just, I'm not going to get into details about chakras right now, but that's basically what they are, and they each have their own color. And we also like to use crystals or gemstones and their special power, because honestly, it's been proven that crystals and everything, they have like an energy to them. I mean, they're used in your phones, your computers, things like that. So that's just known. But if you tell someone, well, they have special properties, people may not always believe that. But that's basically, we use those sometimes in conjunction. We don't need to use chakras at all, but a lot of us tend to do it. Reiki is a universal energy and life force that we believe flows in and out of all of us. So basically, we are connected and we are separate and we are connected. So Reiki is a form of energy that is love and light, and it is not the only energy that is known for this throughout the world. So Deepak Chopra, he has a book called, I have it, it's The Quantum Art of Healing, I believe. He's a very good scientist, and his work is very interesting. And basically, he's proving that we are all connected at the same time. We seem separate, but we're connected. And why is this important? Okay, it's important because basically they found that when something happens across the globe, say for instance, there was these monkeys, they started dipping their potatoes in salt water and eating them, and they were isolated to one tribe. Well, then other tribes around the world of monkeys started doing this, and that's when they started studying, okay, well, how did these monkeys know to start doing this when they're nowhere near each other? Another thing is giraffes were eating too many leaves off of the top of some trees, and the trees started to make their leaves more bitter. So this happened in an isolated area, and then it started to happen in other areas around the world. So, these are things that are like, you can see the connection if you want to. If this is something that just doesn't seem to resonate with you, and right off the bat after I'm explaining this, you're not feeling it, I would just, it's not for you. You can go ahead and change it, and I do not accept any negative energy. So love and light to you. That's, it's all about love and respect and things like that. So basically, he studies the connectedness of us all, where when a proton has something happen, it's going to know what another proton all the way around the world, is going to also know. I do have here something that explains it. Okay, so in my teacher's manual, I'll just read what it says, okay? And this is better worded than what I can make it. The universal life force connects all living things together like a vast ocean. As droplets in this ocean, we are communicating with and are connected to all other droplets in this ocean on an unconscious level. Similarly, every cell in the human body has its own individual position and responsibility. However, each cell is unequivocally connected to and is unconsciously communicating. So basically, they are communicating without any knowledge. Like, it's just something that happens with all other 50 trillion cells in the body. So they're unconsciously communing with all other 50 trillion cells in the body. Deepak Chopra, in his book Quantum Healing, talks about how the entire universe is connected. He explains how particles that are separated by immense distances of time and space know what another are doing. When an electron, for example, jumps into a new orbit on the outside of an atom, the anti-electron, or positron, paired with it must also react no matter where it lives in the universe. So each particle in our universe has an intelligence that communicates across time and space. And that's where studying the behavior of monkeys and also the trees and, different, there's many other things that they study that prove this, comes in. So there is science that backs it up. And the next thing that I'm going to go to is the other cultures. Okay, Reiki is a fairly new concept. It's Japanese, but it's fairly new. I'm not going to get into too much detail, but a man named Mikao Yusui, he is the founder. It's not like he founded it. He meditated, he did a lot of research, and he brought back in Japanese form a art that is still in other cultures. For example, if you've ever heard of Tai Chi, it's the same thing, and it works with the solar plexus a lot. You'll hear the word solar plexus if you do martial arts or if you've done Tai Chi, because solar plexus is actually a chakra. It is your personal strength and power chakra. There's more to it, but basically it is used in, you'll hear a lot about it in Tai Chi, and Chi is the same. It means the same thing in Chinese. It means universal life force or universal energy, breath of life type things like that. So it can be interpreted as, but basically it is a universal energy that connects us all. And to harness it is to have more control over yourself, to, be healthier, feel better, connectedness with people. So then there's Prana, which the definition is a slight bit different, but it has a commonality with it. So let's look it up really quick, because chakras, I believe, come from Hindu, or yoga, Hindu. Yoga is from Hinduism. So definition of Prana. And it's breath, considered as a life-giving force. Prana is seen as a universal energy which flows in currents in and around the body. So same thing as Reiki, same thing as Chi. Then there is mana in Hawaiian. And let's look that up quick. So that Prana is spelled Prana. Okay, in case if you decide to look that up. Mana, it's in Polynesian, Melanesian, and Maori. Hawaiian. It's a pervasive, supernatural, or magical power. It says here in those cultures, mana is the spiritual life force, energy, or healing power that permeates the universe. Anyone or anything can have mana. It is a cultivation or possession of energy and power rather than being a source of power. It is an intentional force. So when they say anyone or anything can have mana, when we talk about Reiki or Chi or even Prana, you are like a conduit. You are an empty vessel. And when you learn about these things, you can become what we call in Reiki attuned, which is, like I said, an initiation process which opens you up to being a vessel or conduit for Reiki, the universal life force. And so it also says here it is a cultivation or possession of energy. So if you work at it, or if you believe in it, and I'm sure they have their own practices on mana and prana and Tai Chi, which I actually will be studying Tai Chi. It is a cultivation or possession of energy and power rather than being a source of power. So it is something that you can have cultivated or go through you. Now, it is an intentional force, okay? So basically, when we say that, that makes me think, because that's mana, their definitions might be slightly different, but for the most part, it sounds pretty much the same, which shows you, and it's not just these cultures. I've heard of it in Native American, in Africa, Aboriginal. I just don't remember specifically the words for it or their definitions. So yeah, it's in a lot of different cultures. Some people compare it to, and I know this may make some Christians mad. I am a Christian. You just have to have an open mind, and if you don't, like I said, this may not be for you, and you may want to just watch something else. But they compare it to, it could be God, like being filled with God's love, the Holy Spirit. I don't know, and I can't say. I don't typically like to, some people do, use Christianity when they explain it, but I don't prefer to, because I know it makes a lot of Christians mad, and I don't really, want to go there. So basically, this energy that we get attuned to, it's passed down from Reiki master teacher to student, and every time we get an attunement, it is the master teacher opening us up to more and more Reiki. So we have a level 1, level 2, level 3, Reiki master, what I am, and Reiki master teacher. And what we do, now I'm going to get into the process of how we conduct a session. We also have sacred symbols, and they originate from Sanskrit. If you know what Sanskrit is, just in case, we'll Google it, okay? So Sanskrit, what is Sanskrit? Okay, an ancient Indo-European language of India in which the Hindu scriptures and classical Indian epic poems are written, and from which many northern Indian languages are derived. It's also a language of South Asia that belongs to the Indo-Aryan, and when they say Aryan, they do not mean like white power. It's something completely different. Branch of the Indo-European languages. It arose in South Asia after its predecessor languages had diffused there from the northwest in the late Bronze Age. Okay? So it is an ancient language with symbols, And the symbols that we use in Tibetan and Reiki, they are originated from Sanskrit. And I would have to go into the story of Mikao Usui in order to help you understand where he got these symbols from and what happened. And I don't know if I'm going to do that today. So we use, getting back to the subject here, first we get you and ourselves into a meditative state. And once we're in a meditative state, there's different ways that we can do this. Music, incense, oil diffusers, candles, or just helping you, talking you down into a relaxation mode. This can be via distance, which is why I have this channel, because it exists through space and time and distance. It's energy. So, I can send Reiki in a video, and I can also send Reiki over the phone, FaceTime, things like that. Or the way a lot of people like is in person. So let's go over in person, okay? Normally, if a person has a studio or a space that they rent, or they do it out of their house, or they go to the person's house, what we do is we have them lay on something comfortable. You don't have to lay, you can sit up. It's all up to you. And once you're in that meditative state, and we are in our meditative state, we use the sacred symbols to, if you're just receiving Reiki, we'll go through each of your chakras and make sure that they're balanced. We kind of use our intuition, and it's almost like our hands heat up or they get cold, which can mean different things, working with you spiritually or working on your body physically. You might feel a tingling sensation. The person may see colors in their mind. They may get emotional, or they may just feel really good and tingly. But it's a very common experience for those who believe in it. So, we'll get you all ready, and then we have our system. If we're just doing a basic Reiki session, we go through, we start from the top, and we don't have to touch you. We can hover, and we just go through, and we feel it through our hands, and we feel it through our body, and we intuitively know where to go over. And a lot of people who have experienced Reiki have gotten it done. They have a lot of, stories that they could tell you. So once we go through, there's also other things that we can do, and I will get into that in a minute. But that is a basic Reiki session in person. And the sacred symbols are there to help direct. We do not control Reiki, this energy. This energy, like I said, we are a vessel or a conduit. It's going to do what is the best for you. It's not going to do what you want it to. We can direct it with the sacred symbols, but we cannot tell it what to do. It's going to do what it knows it needs to do, Reiki. So then there is distance. And distance can be in a couple different ways. See, you could do it over the phone. By phone, if you're going to do it by phone, face-to-face can be kind of interesting. That's more so if you're becoming a Reiki practitioner. But it is easier for you to lay down, meditate, get into the meditative state, and for us to, basically we visualize you, and we, go the same thing that we would do in person. We're just visualizing you and using our intuition of where we may need to send the Reiki. The Reiki goes through us and into our palms, and then it goes into you. And it works through you. And that's by phone. You can do it FaceTime too if you feel better talking to someone or looking at them. Some people may feel more comfortable doing that. And there's also another way that we can do it where we can send Reiki to people without them actually having to be on the phone with us. We set a date and time, and we both, say like someone is all the way across the world or the country. They give me their name, where they are, and a time, and we make sure that we get our time zones right. And then we sit and we meditate, and I send them Reiki. Then we can do much more, but it gets very in-depth. So I'm going to try to explain this the best that I can without over-explaining. And like I said, to some people, this is going to sound nuts, but if you believe in Reiki, then you will come. Like, you may have clicked on this because you have an interest in it. So that's my hope. I kind of wouldn't hope someone would be clicking on it just to bash on it. Something that helps a lot of people. And another little tidbit, I actually know someone who is doing Reiki in a hospital because it is an alternative holistic therapy. It is being used in hospitals, and it is not a religion. It is just an alternative holistic therapy, Japanese. So some people like it, especially in the bigger cities. It is being used in hospitals. So back to the distance sessions, or what we can do. We can go through, there's something called cord cutting, but it's more like cord pulling, unless if you are certified in something else. And I'm not going to get really big into this, but there is this belief like some kind of a plasma, I think, that connects you to someone maybe in your life, like an ex-boyfriend or someone you used to work with, or a family member, and they do not serve your life anymore. It doesn't do you good to have them in your life. You broke up with someone, you're trying to get over them. Okay, so then you've got this cord, this energetic cord that you can't see, and you're wondering, why is it so hard to get over them? It could be years later. It could be this cord, okay? These cords come from anything that reminds you of them, contact with them. It can even come in passing. There's also hooks that can, be in your energetic field, your auric field, that in passing you can get. So we remove those. It's called cord cutting, but normally a regular Reiki practitioner pulls the cords. We instinctively know where those cords are. So you have to believe in intuition, and the energy kind of guides you, the Reiki guides you to where you need to go to get rid of these cords, to help the person get over someone else, to let some trauma go. It could be a trauma thing, something like that. I personally had it done. It helped me a lot. The only reason why I really wanted to go into Reiki was because I had it done and it really helped me, and I felt a calling for it. So when I speak upon it, I'm speaking from experience. And I've had some pretty interesting experiences helping other people also. So then there is say you have a traumatic event that you can't get over. Reiki is for mental help. We are there to help you mentally, and we can't cure you physically, but we can aid in, we are like we aid, we're supplementary therapy. So we can help supplement your regular therapy, but we can never claim that we can cure you or anything like that, okay? So, but what we can do is, if you have a mentally traumatic event, or 2 or 3 or whatever, with our distance Reiki symbol, the reason why it doesn't matter space, time, why I can make a video distance or by proxy, I can talk to you even if you're far away and do a Reiki session for you, is because we have the distance symbol, and the distance symbol allows us to go back. Now, it is not going to stop. It's not meant like magic. None of this is magic. It's not meant to stop the traumatic event from happening. What it does is it actually goes to the when it happened, and it clears out the negative energy, and it puts Reiki there. So it can help you in that way. I've also had that done, and I've done it for other people. So it's not going to stop what happened to you, but it can put some good love and energy into that situation to help you heal more from it. And other things that we can do, we can, help with depression, anxiety, meditation is known to have your body release good, powerful, healing chemicals into your body, which is another way that Reiki can help you, because we help you meditate. And I had trouble meditating until I really started becoming a Reiki practitioner. So that's another way that, if you want to look at it, it can heal you. So you got that there, and let's see what else we got here. There's a lot of ways we can help you. We can, just overall make you feel good, help you sever ties, help you figure out, why you're feeling the way that you're feeling, supplement healing with for physical healing, we can supplement, make you feel good with meditation and the universal energy. But you have to believe in it. Now, if you don't believe in it, just like if you don't believe in God, or you don't believe in, something, if you don't believe in it, then you're putting up a wall, and it's not going to get through that wall. And if you don't believe in it, maybe it's not your purpose to believe in it, and that is perfectly fine. Maybe it's just not for you, so there's no problem with that. Maybe Reiki might not be for somebody, but maybe yoga practices or Tai Chi may be for somebody. Even though they're similar, it could be that they just need a different form. I don't know. So that is how we can help. And I personally, because I have an ASMR, which is Autonomous Sensory Meridian Response, it is a community on YouTube where we help people go to sleep, and not a lot of people there's some people that don't understand it out there, but there's a lot of people that do use it for sleep, to help with depression, to help get a good night's sleep. Sleep is super important to your mental well-being, and Reiki goes along very well with ASMR. So I do both, and that's another way that we can help you. And that's why I make the videos that I make. And if you look in the comments, you will see I have, even though I have a small page right now, I have a lot of loyal subscribers with a lot of good comments and things to say. So there is the last thing I think I'm going to talk about is how Reiki is becoming a lot of different things. You're going to hear about, if you end up deciding that you like Reiki, you're going to hear a lot about the different types of Reiki, okay? I learned the traditional Mikao Usui. He is the original Grand Master of Reiki. He is the guy who, well, let's just say he started it. Okay, so I'll make this quick. He went up on top of a mountain. He fasted for, I believe it was about 28 days. Terrible, I know. But he fasted for almost a month. Let's just say that. And the last day he was like, he prayed to God. He said, he was trying to find answers to some of his questions. He wanted to help people, and he didn't have the answers. So this is why he went to go fast and meditate up on the mountain. And he, on his last day, was struck by, or he seen a lightning bolt or a light, a flash of light. And in that light, he seen the symbols. And we're not 100% sure if it was a lightning bolt or if it was a flash of light. But there were 3 miracles that happened afterwards. And I won't get into the whole story, but basically when he went down that mountain, he was able to do things with touch, and he started to teach other people. And a lot of Reiki masters or Reiki practitioners can be traced back to his original, the originals. Me personally, I don't think it really matters, because it's the fact that you're helping people with good intentions. I don't think you can't use Reiki for bad. It's not something it's not like magic or what people think, black magic is or anything like that. It's nothing like that. It is energy, and it is a love energy, and it is only used for good, and there is no way that you can control it or I can control it, and there's no way to use it for bad. It does what it needs to do, and sometimes it makes people bring out emotions and emotional. Sometimes it can cause a little bit of pain, like in my husband, but then when it's over, he has no pain in problematic areas. So it's more complex than this video. It's not super complex, but if you look at it, it is basically an alternative therapy. We believe in a universal energy life force that connects us all, and we want to help people. And a lot of us get the calling to be a practitioner, a Reiki practitioner. So that is basically what Reiki is. And I believe I explained everything that I wanted to explain. If you have any questions, please feel free to leave them in the comments. I apologize the video is so long. I wasn't planning on making it short, but it is informational. I have made other videos, but I wasn't satisfied with them. So this is going to be a better form of them. And who knows, maybe I'll even make a better one. But so that is Reiki. And like I said, leave a comment below if you have any questions. If this is not for you, please just disregard. And love and light to all of you. Namaste